Welcome back. In the first part, I showed you how to add a background to your virtual classroom. Now we will take a look on adding objects to that classroom. So I'll escape out of full screen and head back over to my bare bones virtual classroom. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find a whiteboard that I would like to put in. We're going to build our classroom from back to front. You'll want items to lay on top of each other. Thinking about which options you want in the back and which options you are going to want more closer to the front of your classroom. So I'm going to click back over to that slideshow template. And over here on slides 64, 65, 66, there's a number of different whiteboards and chalkboards. So I'm going to grab this whiteboard right here. And let's make a copy of that. I did a right click, 2-finger tap, and we'll head on over here and Control V. And we'll paste that in. Control V didn't do the trick, so 2-finger tap. Then I can pull that over and decide where I would like it to be. Let's see. We'll stick it in the center for now, figure out where I would like that to go. Next, I think we'll take a look for a couch, so we'll pop back over here. And let's try this couch right here. We'll give that a copy. Come back into my virtual classroom. 2-finger tap, we'll paste. And you'll have to adjust the sizes of everything and decide where you're going to place it. So it's not hanging out in the ceiling. Maybe now that whiteboard looks a little too big, we can always trim it down and make it about the right size. So there's my couch, there's my whiteboard. Got a couple things in there. Next, I'm going to look for a bookshelf to add. So I'll go back to our template clip art. And I think I'll pick a bookshelf that has some spots in it that I could put some things in. So again, we'll go through that same process of copying and adding. And again, resizing that. Now, I'm going to add a few more things to my classroom. I'll pause and come back, and we can take a look at how we can add more things to our classroom. Okay, so I've added just a few more things to my virtual classroom. I added a picture frame and a picture inside of it and a rug. And I added a lamp, but the lamp actually is laying in front of the couch. I want it in back. So I'm going to click on that lamp and a 2-finger right click, and I can change the order, and I'm going to send that lamp to the back. So now my lamp is behind my couch. I can kind of move it so it's where I would like it to be. Another trick I'd like to show you is grouping. Right now, the picture frame is all by itself, and the picture is all by itself. It's an object of its own. If I hold down Shift and click, I can choose both objects and I can group them. And now they'll both move together. So if I decide I want to switch things around, the picture is grouped with the frame. Now you can see I've also added my Bitmoji to my Google Classroom. If you have a Snapchat account, you can connect a Bitmoji account to it and add that to your classroom if you choose to. I want you to notice that the box handles around my Bitmoji take up a lot of space. So now if I were going to try to move that science poster or the lamp, it's a little hard to get at. Here's a tip. If your space around objects is too large, you can use the crop tool. I'm going to click crop image, and now some black bars appear, and I can slide that up. I don't want to clip off my feet. I mostly want to slide it over, and I can get it as close to that Bitmoji as possible. And then my last step, I need to go up, bring this down a little bit here, and hit the crop button again. And now you can see the handles around my Bitmoji are a lot smaller. I can also 2-finger tap, right click, and I can rotate that Bitmoji. I can give a horizontal flip so I'm facing the other direction as well. You can do that with any objects that you would put in here. Maybe you'd like to put a message on your whiteboard. To do that, you could insert a shape. I'm just going to insert a rectangle, and I'm going to draw it to be about the size of that whiteboard. And it's going to come in a different color than maybe you want it to be. You can go back to the fill color and you can change it back to white. And then within there, you could type any message. And change the font and size just like you would with any other text. Center the text. You can type right inside that rectangle. The last thing I'd like to show you is adding objects that maybe you were not able to find within the objects banner clip art template slide deck. You might want to look for objects of your own. So let's hop back into my virtual classroom, and I'm going to first try to insert my image and just search the web and see what I can find. Maybe I'd like some images to represent some things that we do in the classroom. So I'm going to search for our Epic logo, Epic Books. And let's see what we can find. Okay, so I found an Epic logo, and I'm going to go ahead and click, and I can drag that into my classroom, and it might be bigger or smaller than you would like it to be. Now notice it's also not transparent. It's got a white background, but I'm going to resize it anyway. Maybe Epic is one of the places they're going to visit every day, and I'd like that to be a piece of wall art that lays on my wall. Next, I think I'll search for a couple books to put on my shelf. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm liking what I'm seeing over there, so maybe I'll type book stack, and I'm seeing it come up book stack PNG. PNG is a type of image file that will have a transparent background. So I'm going to choose that. You can actually type in PNG, or you can type in the word transparent, and let's see what we can find. Now, there's a good chance many of these will actually be transparent. There might be a couple in there that are not. So let's take a look at maybe just a small stack that I could put on my bookshelf. And again, it's probably going to come in a different size than you want it to be. And it looks like it is transparent. It's see-through. So I'm going to scale that down, and we'll add those books to my shelf. I'm noticing that there's a very large box around it with handles. So I'm going to fix that later as well, like I showed you earlier. We'll place those on my shelf. And you can continue adding items like that. I'm going to undo because I accidentally resized my bookshelf instead of the books. That's the problem with having too many handles around there. So I've got my books on my shelf, and I could add some other objects to my shelf if I like. In my next video, I'll show you how you can make your virtual classroom include active links that would take students to sites that you would like them to go. Thanks for watching.